the anti-fascism protest movement in this country, antifa, however you pronounce it. He said he was going to label Antifa a terrorist organization. Just like Hitler decided that the Jews were terrorists within the state of Germany. Jews were terrorists. Trump is going to try to make anti-fascists a terrorist organization. Well, guess who it pissed off? The Germans. Antifa is very strong in Germany. Thousands of social media users there have pledged solidarity with Antifa because the Germans experienced the horror beyond what any other fascist dictator has ever put his country through, the horror of fascism. Trump tweeted on Saturday that Antifa was made up of, quote, gutless, radical, left whack jobs who go around hitting, only non-fighters, people over the heads with baseball bats. This is your president. End quote. He said a move was being considered to label the movement a major organization of terror, along with MS-13 and others. The tweet from Trump followed an introduction of a resolution by Republican Senators Ted Cruz, that rotten little fucker, and Bill Cassidy, aiming to have the group, Antifa, identified as, quote, domestic terrorists. That immediately produced a flurry of tweets in Germany and the U.S. with the hashtag, or with the sig line, hashtag Ich bin Antifa. I am Antifa. Several users who use the hashtag reference Germany's history of fascism and anti-fascist resistance during the Nazi period. What was the name of Ben Birch's organization? Yeah, White Rose Society. Ben Birch, who has archived every single one of my programs for the past, 25 years. He had an organization called the White Rose Society, named after the two young Germans, a male and female, German college students, who tried to organize anti-fascist resistance in Germany with the rise of Hitler, and they were both executed. This is madness. Christo Lazarevic wrote with the hashtag Ich bin Antifa. He wrote, hashtag Ich bin Antifa because my grandfather fought the fascists until they nearly wiped out our entire family. Another user added in a tweet that was retweeted hundreds of times, hashtag Ich bin Antifa because history teaches us just how fragile democracy and the rule of law are when giving right-wing extremists power. The German daily newspaper News Deutschland added that they were, quote, outraged that Trump was considering labeling the group terrorists. This dirty fucking, oh my God. Antifa, whose name is a shortened form of anti-fascist, had become increasingly visible since what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017. When the anti-fascist, hate-filled fuckers went nuts about the removal of a statue of a traitorous piss dog in United States history, this fucking lowlife Robert E. Lee, who helped murder 700,000 Americans so that this country would remain enslaved, black folk, that is. The fucking dog piss bastard Robert E. Lee. Every time I see a statue of him, I want to go urinate on it. But I don't because there's laws against public urination. But that's what those white fuckheads were in Charlottesville about. And that's why they murdered the white woman. They murdered her. Now, the term is now being used to define a broad group of people whose political beliefs lean toward the left and do not necessarily conform with the Democratic Party platform. The Democratic Party platform, if one is ever put together, and I doubt how that's going to work out, will contain not a word in support of Antifa or the anti-fascist movement in this country. The Democratic platform will contain not a fucking word about how Trump is destroying the rule of law. The Democratic platform, if one is ever put together, will not contain a word, not a word, about how the defeat of Donald Trump is absolutely imperative if this experiment in self-governance is going to continue. I'm not very hopeful. I really am not. Because at my age and my experience level and the travels I've done and the people I've met and the businesses I've worked in media and all this other shit that mushed together constitutes my life experience, all of that leaves me with a sick sense that this country has been heading in this direction since it was established. And here we are. And the problem is, the country right now is being run by the worst examples of leadership. Fascists. People who Trump and Barr and Nunes and the Nazi Jew Stephen Miller and all their allies in media are operating on the very clear principle that the rule of law has nothing fucking whatsoever to do with fascism. It's the rule of dictatorship. It's the rule put together by a handful, a cadre of people at the top of this poisonous pyramid. And those who don't accept that rule will be eliminated. They will be poisoned in Russia. They will be executed in Saudi Arabia and in North Korea. They will commit suicide in China. And this miserable fucking rat that runs the United States right now is trying to decide which form of elimination he prefers. Right now, he prefers instilling the kind of hatred in borderline psychos like him that will cause them to pick up a fucking gun and go to a family gathering like a garlic festival where a lot of people of color will be there because they're the ones that pick the fucking garlic. They're the ones who put it out for distribution through your local grocery store. And Trump will inspire those people to go to events just like that and kill people. Like at a demonstration to bring down a statue of a piss-filled fucking pussball like Robert E. Lee. Bring the fucking statue down. He was a traitor to the United States. And Trump will inspire people to go there and commit murder against the folks who are trying to erase the most obvious forms of racism that stand so fucking proudly in this country, don't they? Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.